Past 2 days I have been working on painting the base of my newest table that I'm putting together and staining the top. I got to put on a coat of poly now. That's the next thing, and shot all of it, so I think the next step is just editing it. Most of you probably don't know that things like this pergola that we have in the backyard, this seating area, this table, like all of that stuff is just things that I've built. One of my favorite pieces are these cedar logs that we pulled out of the forest over by Myers Park High School, and they're custom tops that match the edge all the way around. Those are just fun pieces of, different things that I have built over the years while we've been here. And I like building things. I like learning how things work and taking things apart. Kind of like having that car in my garage for the last year. It kind of made it less intimidating when we were able to tear all the different pieces out of the engine to see how the system works, to see how all of that goes together. And I don't know, it's just kind of who I am. What's interesting to me is how diverse people's interests and motivations are, and why they are. I mean, it fits into the conversation of nature versus nurture. Are you kind of molded by your parents, or your environment, not even just your parents? And then secondarily, how much of it is innate? How much of it is biological? And how does the biology of each organism affect, the organic interests that they possess? Like, why do people have certain hobbies? It's really interesting, what the attributes of each person are. I would say that I am influenced heavily by what I observed. So I would say there's a strong element of nurture that has determined who I am and what I like doing. I find the older that I get, the more similar to my parents I am. And my dad's best friend, Dave Burrell, would even argue in some of these videos that I sound like, I have similar mannerisms. Like I clear my throat the same way that my dad does. I chew on my fingernails the same way that I observe my dad do those things. So it is interesting to note the influences that my environment had on the outcome of my behavior later in life. So like building things, my dad did that all the time. He gardened, had an interest in doing that type of stuff, had bird feeders. I mean, I'm literally, all of these things are just carbon copies of things that I saw my parents do. And it's not that I go and do these things like I want to be like my parents. They're just the stuff that I find interesting. So, I don't know, just food for thought. I wonder, if you think about like why you do what you do, which is one of the questions that I asked a group of people when we were at the national championships in Birmingham. Like, why are you who you are, and why do you spend your energy doing what you do? And that was a good question. People went around the table and had different answers for why they were track coaches. People, even went so far as to talk about not just track coaches, but like how you view life or you view the world. Like, what is your purpose? What is the larger purpose in life? Because that's a great question to ponder, because people are certainly motivated by different things. Some people are motivated by money. Some people are motivated by prestige. Some people are motivated by recognition. One of the greatest lessons I ever learned was from my high school basketball coach, Mike Purcell. Shout out to him. When I started here, I couldn't figure out my boss. I didn't understand what motivated her, so I was unable to interact with her in a way that was positive for us in our program. And he said, Jim, you have to figure out what motivates her. It was all about image. Image was super important to her, like how you dressed, how you spoke, how other people perceived you. And when I started driving and aligning myself with what motivated her, my relationship in a work relationship got much, much better. So, I mean, think about it. With your coworkers, maybe if you manage people, what motivates them? How can you speak to their love languages in a way that motivates them to continue to do things that are excellent? So glad to be here again, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.